Solely based on the show's host, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it'll be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is David Rodgers, host and creator of On the Spot with David Rodgers, right along my tag team partner. He is the dancing destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland, our director and producer of the show. He's here with us tonight. In the house tonight also, I've got, the Austin Stevens, making his presence back with us after the holidays. He's going to give us a great weather report. Mr. Byron Bagwell will probably not likely make it with us tonight as he is working and doing his thing with Haven Hospice Care and doing a good deed, but that is his job as well. So he may or may not be here. We're going to roll on the show that he's not going to be here. But again, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quotes of the night. And yes, Dave, I do have a couple of patriotic quotes of the night. I wrote them down right before while me and you was setting up and getting ready to go. How about that?
That was my next question.
That was your next question. Okay. That was your next question. All right. Well, that works. So let us get started as we go into prayer. Everybody at home, if you'll please remove your hats and bow your heads with me as we go into prayer. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and beautiful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we get to spend with our brotherhood, the On the Spot with David Rodgers crew, and of course the On the Spot Motorsports Media crew with Mitchell Gunner and his crew as well. Just thank you and keep blessing us as we keep trying to bring the news and the information to all of our viewers as they see fit and required. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, dear Lord, the United States of America. It's the most powerful, most freest country in the world today, and it's going to get greater and better again with your guiding hand and your guiding touch, as on January 20th, we will have our inauguration of President Donald Trump, and he's promised us, American people, that this will be a greater America for sure. Thank you for our armed forces, each and every one of those men and women that go out and fight for our country and for our freedoms and our rights. Thank you for them, whether they're serving abroad or here, dear Lord, that you keep a hedge of protection over them and bring them home safely to us and to their family. Thank you to the first responders, each and every one of those men and women. They know who they are, that keep us safe each and every day and each and every night, as when we go home, that we know that we can be safe from harm's way. And they put their lives each and every day on the line for us to be able to have those rights and those freedoms, dear Lord. Thank you for all the American workers, everybody that's trying to make America great again, from the farmers to the railroad workers to the truck drivers to anybody in manufacturing, production, anybody that gets up each and every morning and goes to their jobs to do what they need to do to keep America strong and fulfilled and running as it should be. Any spoken prayer request, any unspoken prayer request, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them, dear Lord, as you know what that's in their heart and their minds and their souls. Just put your guiding hand on them, dear Lord, your healing touch as they're going through these times, as we all do at other times. Also, the wildfires that are going on in the Los Angeles area and in California. Put your a hand of protection over them, dear Lord, as I know there's a lot of property and a lot of lives lost, dear Lord, and that you just comfort them, people, and they are American citizens, dear Lord, that you just touch each and every one of them, that they'll be safe and okay, dear Lord. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day as it goes into our body, to our bodies, and our bodies to thy service. Again, thank you for this wonderful time, this glorious time that we have, dear Lord. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for the rest of the week that we're going to have. And we ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says, Amen.
Amen.
All right, all right. Let us stand for our pledge. And I'm going to ask Mr. Austin Stevens if he'd lead us in our pledge tonight. What do you think about that, Dave?
I like that idea.
All right, well, let's let him go with it.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Look at that beautiful flag waving right there, Dave, for everybody to see. I'm telling you, there ain't nothing. Dave, can you think of anything greater than that flag just waving like that? The red, white, and the blue. We know what all that stands for. Can you think of anything prettier than that? What do you think? It's hard to say, isn't it?
It's hard to say, Dad.
Yeah, it is hard to say because I don't think that there is.
That right there gets right into my bones.
It gets into your bones, and you're exactly right. So
we've fought for that flag and what it means, this country, and
I was talking.
represents.
I was talking to some guys at work today, and we were talking about what's coming up on January 20th, which we'll get into here in a little bit. But we was talking about just the freedoms that we have, the rights that we have, and it was because of our founding forefathers standing on what they believed in, David, and fighting against the motherland and getting us our freedoms that we have known for over 200 plus years now, and we're still the freest and most powerful country in the world today. We have our own issues, as I said in my prayer, but you know what? With the right guidance and the right leadership, I think, David, that you will see this country become great again, and the people that's watching this show, you'll see that this country will become great again, and I have no doubt in my military mind, that, and I was in the military, U.S. Navy as you were,
Amen.
in our military minds, that this will be a great country again. So
I do, and speaking of flags, one of our local people put up a flagpole right there off the side of the bypass 300,
right,
between 16 and 100, and I got a little picture of it if I can pop that in.
yeah, go ahead, absolutely, David. While Dave's popping that in, I'm trying to.
It's at half-mast.
Yep, and
that's for the fires, I believe.
And Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, definitely. He passed away at the age of 100. Long life. Wow. If I can even just get 20 more years, I'd be just glad and thankful for that. But Jimmy Carter lived 100 years, and it's hard to believe that he had lived that long because of the ailments and the things that he had going after his presidency.
Yeah.
He got real sick, and he was fighting some battles, and
came out of them.
he came out of them, and to live to be 100, I think is a great thing.
Did you hear some of the things that he's done in his life?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we could pull that up right now and just go, wow, that is just absolutely.
Water in Africa, inventing FEMA.
FEMA, yep.
The President of the United States.
He was, yep.
Several other things.
Yeah, that we could really go into, and
hostages in Iran, is it?
Yeah. Now, that it happened during his presidency.
Right.
But of course, the story that Ronald Reagan come in there and he wound up cleaning that up.
Yeah.
But he was trying to fight that, and just like you said, a bunch of things, and he always said, who would have thought an old peanut farmer, would become president of the United States from, I think he was from Plains, Georgia. If I'm not mistaken, he was from Plains, Georgia. And who,
right up the road.
Right up the road. Who would have thought that? So, I agree with you on that. Dave, I don't know what's going on here with my iPad here, but I can't get it to click onto the Facebook page there. But anyway, we'll get to it here in a few minutes. But You got the comments going, Dave? Do you got your phone up? Do you got the comments going there, Austin Stevens?
Yeah. Yep.
You do?
Yep.
Let him see
Okay.
that.
Can you come over? I'll bring Austin Stevens in here with me for just a little bit.
Byron is in the
In the house?
Yep, he's
Okay.
watching.
Okay.
Pulling it up.
Okay. Who
Eddie
else?
is watching. Eddie Seaman.
Eddie Sigmund? Okay. Hello, Eddie. How you doing? I hope you had a great holiday and a happy new year to you.
I believe
So-
that's Shirley
And of
watching
course
as
he
well.
said-
Hey,
Shirley's
Shirley.
watching. Okay,
Of course,
Shirley's.
Byron says, "Good evening, Patriots, miscreants, and infidels."
Okay, yep. I figured that Byron would probably
That's
say
his
that.
favorite saying.
That is his favorite saying. You're right. I'm not sure what's going on. It's stuck here in the aftermath here. Here we go. I think I got it, Dave. Let me see
Okay.
here. Let's see what we got here. Nope, that's the old Byron one there. So
it's just showing Eddie and Byron for me.
yeah, it's just showing Eddie and Byron for you. Okay, this was
Well,
me
that's
and
all
Byron
that's
last
in there
week.
right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, I don't know what's going on with this thing, but let's get on with the show. Quote of the night. Here we go. For all you listeners and everybody that's paying attention, again, welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers, right along with Dave Holland, Austin Stevens, the missing Byron Bagwell, and of course Mitchell Gunner. You can catch his show on the Spot Motorsports Media each and every Thursday. Dave, I talked to Mitchell. You did too as well. Boy, he's got guests lined up all the way through February. He's got races he's going to be streaming. That page is really taken off, and I want to thank Mitchell for all the work that he's done on his page,
Yes.
and also helping us out on our page as well when he does get a chance. So, Mitchell, if you're tuning in or you're watching or you watch us later on, want to thank you for everything that you have done for us and the show. Quote of the night: when you give joy to other people, you get more joy in return. You should give a good thought to the happiness that you can give out. She was a First Lady of the United States of America. So I'll give you a chance to guess at that. Yep, famous First Lady of the United States of America. And I wish I could pull my comments up. Like I said, not sure what's going on here. Let's see. I don't know if it's because, here we go. Let's search On the Spot with David Rodgers.
Was
That's
it
it right
Reagan?
here. Huh?
Reagan?
It was not Reagan. It was not Reagan.
Bush?
Back further than that.
Oh,
I
So-
hope it was not the head.
Lincoln?
Huh?
I said I hope
Lincoln?
No. Before
Not
that.
one.
Miss
wait.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
Miss Eleanor Roosevelt said that. Eddie says he's on for a little bit. Of course, Byron's on. Eddie Sigmund's on. He said he's doing well. Shirley Mitchell and a few others are watching as well as we're getting the show started here. And I finally got my stuff up, David, where I can check out the comments.
That's why my thing doesn't say people are watching, because I'm watching through the page.
Okay,
Did you see those numbers from last week's show?
I did.
I didn't get to see them recently, but the last one I saw was over 500.
Yep,
That was
actually.
like the next day or so.
Yeah, actually, it's up to like 840 views.
That's
It's
a
good.
show.
That's a good show. Good start. It was a really good show. I wish Byron was here with us tonight, but he's got work duties, so he will not be able to be with us, but that's okay because we're going to continue on. So that quote was given by Miss Eleanor Roosevelt. I have one more, David, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. I'm ready.
Quote 2, the pessimists see difficulty in every opportunity. The optimists see opportunity in every difficulty. He was a famous prime minister in the world, and his name is well renowned. So anybody that wants to kick in here, Christopher Davis is watching. Hey, Chris, how's it going, buddy?
Well-
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you as well.
Only one I can think of is Churchill.
Really? Well, guess what? Bing, 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 bing. You win.
Oh, man.
You win. How about that, huh?
I'm a winner.
You are a wiener. How about that? Well, you know, we'll see what Facebook says about that. But anyway, you are a winner. That's exactly right. It was Winston Churchill. So a couple of famous quotes there by Miss Eleanor Roosevelt and Mr. Winston Churchill. Let's go into the weather. because the weather's been goofy lately.
Way goofy.
Way goofy lately. And I want Austin Stevens to give us heads or tails of this thing, of what's going on, because I'm telling you, one day...
Definitely the heads in California has burned, so it's
Yeah,
definitely going to be the tails.
I hear you. I don't know. There's one day, and maybe you can explain it, Austin. There's one day where it's really cold, and there's been several mornings like that. And then there's days where I don't think it's going to get above 50, and it gets almost up to 70. I just don't get that. But anyway, Austin Stevens is going to tell us. Austin, give us a detailed forecast and weather report, please, sir.
All right, so David was wondering about that day where he's trying to predict that it's going to barely get over 50, but then it surprises him and it's 70.
Yes.
Well, David, the first is, who's been forecasting the weather?
What?
I said, who's been forecasting the weather?
It's been you.
Exactly. So
I'm gonna jump on you, because guess what? You didn't predict it right.
okay, well,
I'm only kidding with you.
Mother Nature's fully in control. I just say what I think she's going to do, and
There
if
you
she
go.
don't do
That's
it, then,
right.
then it's off the script. But how'd you like that rainy Monday?
Yeah. How about that?
That was
Actually, I had a doctor's appointment, 2 doctor's appointments yesterday, and I left the house, went over to Gainesville, David, to the VA where you go, and man, it rained as I was going there, and it rained all the way back. Thought I was going to be able to do a couple of things because it lightened up, and then here it comes again, and Austin's going to tell us why.
I was in the house around 3:30 building a fire in the fireplace.
Wow, okay.
But anyways, back to that. Speaking of that rain, we won't see any more, but we may see a few showers overnight, Wednesday night into Thursday.
Okay.
Highs tomorrow will be in the upper 50s, not lower 70s, David. And then starting off your morning, you're going to have to go out there and start your truck or your car a little bit early before going to work. There'll be frost with mid-30s. We will go back down into the upper 30s, but no frost Thursday morning. Just some sprinkles of showers. And then highs in the lower 60s. Then on Thursday night into Friday, we'll drop into the lower 40s. Surprise, surprise. But wait. Mother Nature's going to be interesting. When David gets up to go to Lake City, it's going to be in the upper 40s. A warm front will move through, which will lead to highs in the lower 70s on Friday. Now, that's short-lived by another cold front. Another one. But it's going to bring some showers and thunderstorms before then. No severe weather. Thank goodness. But this will start the precursor to rainfall Saturday and Sunday. And then cold weather starts moving in Monday. Now, I will not go and say what the highs and lows will be through after Sunday, but generally in the upper 60s, lower 70s, at night in the upper 50s, and then lower 40s come Monday morning, Martin Luther King Day. But after that, we don't know where the cold front's going to park, but Renee, pipe bursting cold for the Gulf Coast is looking likely.
All right, so I want to ask you a question. Somebody asked me at work, and I didn't know how to answer it, and I figured you would be the one to do that. So I can, if the boys ain't watching tonight, I can give it to them tomorrow. So last week, when that snow came through, southeast. Now let me ask you a question. Did it hit Pensacola?
No.
It did not.
No, it was so close, David. I was looking at radar at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was snowing, and believe it or not, Birmingham got 4 inches of snow.
Yeah, I knew Alabama
and
in that
it was
area.
snowing through. Radar indicated snowfall rates of 3 inches per hour.
Ooh.
That's a lot, stretching from Birmingham, Alabama to Atlanta, Georgia. So they got 3 to 4 inches. But because the warm front, the warm front was lifting north from Pascagoula, Mississippi to Pensacola, Florida. It was lifting north, which prevented it from going here. But if that rain was here 24 hours before, say it rained Thursday evening and then turned into snow Thursday night into that Friday, that morning when it was like 30 degrees here, 28, we would have had snow. It was 24 hours early, but it was 200 miles away. And the reason why was that warm front. The Gulf of Mexico is still a little too warm for snow.
Right.
However, because of the cold air and everything, and it being 32 degrees in Cedar Key now, we might next week have the potential of either an icy mess or snow and the possibility from Pensacola, Florida, or from really all of I-10 from Louisiana onward to Jacksonville, Florida might get shut down.
Really?
Because GFS and Euro have been on some crazy mess of 2 inches of ice fall.
All right, and when is this? When again? What's the time frame?
Next week, there is a potential. It is not guaranteed as of now. We would have to look at it Tuesday night. Next week, Tuesday night of the show, if the Siberian Polar Express, how far south it goes, and what are the conditions that night.
Okay.
Because then you'll know.
All right. So, you heard that? And Austin, if they really want a good, detailed weather report, where can you go?
You can go to facebook.com / Austin's Weather Service, all one word, Austin's Weather Service. That's where we'll be posting about the computer models and seeing what we're seeing and keeping everyone up to date as much as we can about the potential ice threat. And if there's any ice storm warnings, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, or anything that affects from basically Lake City onward to Jacksonville, from Jacksonville down to Ocala, we'll keep you updated because as of now, it shows next Tuesday into Wednesday shows highs in Ocala 58. Guess what Lake City will be?
Ooh, a little colder than that.
33.
You see the difference?
Because we don't know where the polar front is going to sit. Is it going to go south of Ocala? If it goes south of Ocala, it's going to be a snow mess here.
Right.
So
it's just a variation of where it sits at, right? Or where it comes in at?
Yep, depends on where it comes in at.
Okay.
If we're on the warm side or the cold side. If we're on the cold side, Michael Heater's not going to have a good day. If we're on the warm side, Michael Heater's going to love me.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Austin, for that, and we'll get back to you. We'll let you do that one more time.
I hope we don't have that ice risk, but if we do, everyone, I want to say one thing. 2 tires on the side of the road, 2 tires on the road. Get you the best traction.
That's a good point.
And do not slam on brakes.
That's a good point that you bring up right there, because most of these people here aren't used to driving in snow. And I lived in Brunswick, Maine, for 4 years. Hang on just a second. I lived in Brunswick, Maine for 4 years, and me and Shelley know how to drive in it. But a lot of people that hadn't spent a lot of time up north or haven't driven in it. Dave, I know you do. I know you know, because you go to visit Ohio, you go visit your family, you go through those states that has the potential and possibility of snow if it ain't already there. And so I know how to drive through it, but a lot of Southerners doesn't. And if what Austin says comes to fruition,
they will shut down.
Yes, I would say that there probably won't be hardly anybody on the road or going to work for sure. What was you going to say, Austin?
I was going to say, a lot of people won't, because they're not that set of their mind about how to drive on snow or even ice. But some that have been around for like the 1977 snow event in February or the 1989 snow event in December, if they remember, they should. And the best thing to do is do not go around speeding like David does sometimes.
Oh yeah, I like to speed. Yeah, I do sometimes.
But well, both Davids. But anyways, the one thing I recommend, and these are the steps: don't slam on brakes. Keep extra distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. If you start feeling you're losing traction, 2 tires on the grass, 2 tires on the road, if applicable. Don't start smashing the mailboxes.
But you suggest that if you don't know how to drive it, you shouldn't drive it all the time.
If you do not have a reason or an emergency to go somewhere, stay off the roads when we tell you to, please.
There was
not people crashing into power poles.
There was a section that my son went through while he was in Ohio that normally would have taken about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Took him almost 5 hours.
Yeah, because the ice. You have to be careful.
Yep. And you're exactly right, David. And what Austin said, you got to be careful for sure.
And the reason why Florida will shut down, and I know people up north are going to pick on us, the reason why is Florida does not, besides one county in the Panhandle, that's Okaloosa County, has a salt truck. They have a salt truck / snowplow combo, by the way. That is the only county.
Yeah, so there you go. So stay off the roads if you don't have to.
If we get an ice threat and I have to go and put everything in exclamation points and capital letters and force David to share it to the page, stay off the roads.
Yeah, stay off the roads, and we will definitely be sharing that. And we'll come back and hit that weather as we close tonight, Austin. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Shirley Mitchell is watching. Christopher Davis watching. As we said, hello, brothers. Hope y'all are all having a great day. We are, big guy. I seen, Mitchell, you did have a comment out there. I don't know if you pulled it off or not, but I was going to read it. It said that he was thankful for the kind words that we gave him. And he was about to read. Oh, here we go. Thank you for the kind words, guys. We hit 17,000 followers today and should hit 20,000 by May. Of course, you're fixing to get into racing season and all these live streams and all the stories that he puts out there. Yeah, it's just going to jack up the followers. And that's a great number, especially on Facebook. I know he's got other streams that he uses, YouTube, and those kind of streams there. But for Facebook to have a page like that, that's pretty phenomenal, David, isn't it? Yeah.
But he's doing it right, and if he keeps it up this time next year, he should be close to
25,000. Could be.
I was going to say 50, 70.
Could be. You know, just depends. You know, there's times like, you know, when we talk different sports where those sports slow down, you know, as racing slows down as the year comes closer to football season, so it slows down. But once he gains those followers, or we gain those followers, any of us, we keep them. You know, they're there. They like the page, and they are followers. So that's a good thing.
Well, so what I've seen and calculated that he's pulling in about 2,000 a week.
I don't know about 2,000 a week, but
Or is
maybe
that
a couple.
200?
Maybe a couple of hundred a week. It just varies during, like I said, the season. So I mean, you know, he started off with the numbers that we have right now,
Okay,
and so he's grabbed.
1,000, 1,500 a month.
Yeah, could possibly. Yeah, and maybe he'll answer that question. But I agree with you. I mean, and like I said, during racing season, it's even more.
Yeah.
So Scott Bunning said, growing up north, we're always told driving on Florida roads after it rained was worse than ice because the roads were made with seashells in the pavement and that it made it slicker than ice.
Wow.
I've heard that. I've heard that too.
I've heard it, but you know what's more dangerous? A Floridian on ice.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the old comer Floridians that are accustomed to black ice and what it used to do back in the 80s. I'm talking about the ones that literally are, you know, your daughter's age, that are my age, don't know nothing.
You're talking about the newer drivers
nowadays. And then they're going to go, ooh, ice. Let me go spin my car around in circles like I'm a fool. Also, I looked it up. Pascagoula MS, as of Monday morning, will have temperatures and wind chills in the teens.
Wow, I'm glad I don't live there anymore. So I'll have to tell Renee and David Versace and all them boys over there, hey, you better bundle up, son.
You get in a big parking lot where there's no cars.
Don't listen to him.
Doing donuts is not bad.
So I would tell you, I'll tell y'all a story a little bit later when I had my 1987 Toyota, and I did that up in Maine, and Shelly got just a little torqued off with me. I'll tell you what I did. Really got torqued off with me. Mitchell said, David, about 100 a week.
About 100 a week.
So that's 400 a month. So that's about 5,000 a year. That's a pretty good number. So, you know, we were, you know, roughly between 20 and 25, probably before the racing season's over. And he may get more as that goes. So, great job and great page content. And Mitchell, I need you to help me with something because I'm fixing to, Dave don't even know about this, but he's fixing to get enlightened. So, for everybody that's watching, and you better tell everybody to come on, I need for Mitchell to get me the playoff bracket from here until the Super Bowl. Just match up the teams. Mitchell, you don't have to do it in a bracket. Just put the teams out there, and we're going to do a pick'ems for all of our viewers and everybody that follows us. But the only way that you can do it is if you like the page or you're already a follower. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick all those games. We're not eligible. We'll play. But anybody that's not part of On the Spot with David Rodgers or On the Spot Motorsports Media, Mitchell, just to let you know, is eligible to play. And what me and you are going to do, David, because we do have a little money in the account, we are going to buy a $50 Texas Roadhouse gift card for the winner of that pick'ems.
All
And
right.
it also includes the national championship game between Notre Dame and Penn State. And if there is a tie at the end, it will be the combination of total points in the Super Bowl, if there is a tie.
So what you're saying is they don't only get dinner, but they get tickets to the game?
No, I didn't say that, David. What
what it
you say?
sounded like.
No, oh heck no, man.
Darn.
Because I wanted to tell you something, and I'll repeat this here in just a minute. Do you know that national championship game? And I know your team's in it, and I know who you're picking to win that. I understand that. Ohio State Buckeyes, as Gordon says, the worthless nuts.
Yeah.
But hey, that's okay.
We'll
but
find
anyway,
out.
that Notre Dame and Penn State game, there's no Southern team in it, but they're playing in Georgia, Atlanta, at the Dome there. And that's going to be Monday night, starts at 7:30. And do you know the ticket price for just general admission? Do you know what it is right now?
I'm going to guess at a
Just general admission, not any, just to get in to watch the football game.
couple thousand.
Almost $1,400 for nosebleed seats. So if me, you, and Austin wanted to go, and Byron and Mitchell, it would cost us $6,000 just to be somewhere
I had
up in the
$6,000,
north
but I got-
80, north 85 up there, watching down. When me and you and Byron and Austin and Mitchell and anybody else who here is watching can sit at our house, go to our refrigerator,
Yeah.
get our cold beverage. Hey, pause the game, whatever, and we can watch the football game. I think it's going to be a good one, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I want to
hope
let you
so.
know. So,
I hope it doesn't turn out like the Rams
Vikings game last night.
Yeah.
Man, golly, old Sam Darnold, man, he got sacked 9 times last night, buddy. And then Jared Verse there from Florida State returns one, I think 63 yards to the house for a touchdown. He was pretty quick for a big defensive end, ain't he? He outran everybody, and I was like, oh my God, me and Byron was talking about that today. And there was another play in there that me and Byron talked about. Do you remember seeing the play, David, where Jerry Goff, the LA Rams quarterback, pitched it as almost he was going down, and they was trying to call it a fumble, or they wanted to call it a fumble.
Well,
but
the guy picked it up and ran for a touchdown.
No, that's Jerry Verse. That's that one. This one,
It looked like he was trying to get rid of the ball.
correct. But there was a running back in the vicinity. Here's the problem that I have with that play, and anybody else that was watching that game last night, here's the problem that I have. There was 2 or 3 guys that when he had them in the grass. He throws it, okay, but the problem is first of all, he wasn't outside the tackle box, number one. The running back was in the vicinity, but the problem is he never got it across the line of scrimmage. So that should have been called intentional grounding and 15 yards, penalty, and of course loss of down.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of plays in there, but when you get your tail sacked 9 times in a football game, that means your line is like Swiss cheese, and I don't know why all of a sudden, because they won 14 ball games, you know that, right?
Yeah.
The Rams only won 10. They were 10-7. The the Vikings were 14-2.
Yeah. Yeah.
14-3 or whatever they were. They won 14 games, and I just don't get it, man. You know, teams.
I think what it was is the fire, and L.A., giving it all for support
Yeah.
for those people.
I'm glad you said that because they had to play that game in Glendale, Arizona. You know that, right?
Yeah.
They had to move it. It was in Glendale, Arizona, and there was a lot of people at that football game last night. And I think they were playing with a little passion and a little fire.
Yeah.
And when you get sacked 9 times, you're not going to win a ball game.
Yeah, the Vikings, they looked like they were just,
Sleepwalking?
just like they're not there.
Yeah, and like I said, when you can't get rid of the football, I mean, you're trying to make plays down the field in the passing game, and boom, yeah, two or three guys are around you, sacking you. I mean, you're
He
not
had
gonna,
a bad problem of overthrowing. Too.
I'm glad you said that, David. Sam Darnold did have that problem. He wasn't connecting with the receivers very well when he did have the opportunity, and that was the week before, too, when they played the Lions, for that division title. And the Lions ate him up, too. But there was opportunities he had where he could have hit Jefferson on many pass plays, and he overthrew him, underthrew him, threw it to the side of him, and he just was not in a rhythm. And they caught L.A., honestly, they caught L.A. at just where, like you said, they're playing for the city because of all the fires and everything going on, and they were just playing with
a lot
some
of passion in that game
there was.
that night.
So, anyway, we're going to do a football pick'em. $50 gift card to the Roadhouse. No tickets to the Super Bowl, David. Don't even say that. No tickets to the Super Bowl. But anyway, you got to pick the remainder, starting now, divisional round because, last week was wild card weekend, this past weekend. Now we're going to the divisional round. Pick all the games all the way through, get your 2 Super Bowl winners, and you got to pick the winner of the Notre Dame Ohio State game. And then it's going to be the total points of the Super Bowl, of what you think. So if your team is Kansas City and Detroit, how many total points do you think they're going to score? It's almost like an over and under type deal. You know what I mean? Except you're just trying to come closest to the score. So let's say you pick Kansas City and Detroit. Let's say that's your 2 teams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How many total points you think they're going to score? You think Kansas City will win 31 to, let's say, 28. So you want your total points to be 59. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
So that's the way that you will do that. And it's for a...
And that's just for the Super Bowl.
No, that's for the... just for the Super Bowl on the total points. That's what we're going to call our tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
That's going to be the tiebreaker. Yep.
Yep.
So whoever has gotten their teams to the Super Bowl...
Yeah.
And if your 2 teams are in the Super Bowl... and there's nobody else's 2 teams that are there, guess what? You're probably going to be the winner because you've gotten there because maybe me and you just have 1 team. Let's say me and you pick Kansas City and Detroit, but it's Kansas City and the Rams. So we have Kansas City, but we don't have the Rams.
Right.
But let's say somebody had Kansas City and the Rams. Well, they're going to beat us because both of their teams are in.
Right. So this week...
Yep.
We're going to
pick the games this week.
Pick all the games.
Yep.
And how many
So you got...
do you think that is?
So I'll tell you what you got. So you got Baltimore playing the Bills, and you've got the Texans playing Kansas City.
Okay.
So that's Baltimore at Buffalo, and the Houston Texans at Kansas City. Then you have... let's see. The Detroit, you got Philadelphia is in it.
I'll say this much: the Buffalo Bills have had a pretty good year.
That quarterback is awesome. Josh Allen, I'd take him on my team anytime and any minute. So we have, let's see, Philadelphia's in it. Detroit's in it on that side. The Rams, I'm missing one. Help me out, guys. Who am I missing there? Missing somebody. It's Philadelphia on that side. Detroit, the Rams. Washington. The Commanders, yeah. So, and I think it's the Commanders at Detroit, the Washington at Detroit, and then Rams at Philly. Yeah, Rams at Philly.
What's the first 2 games?
I don't know how they're going to pair them up on television-wise.
Right,
but you're talking about the other ones I just named?
Yeah.
It'll be Baltimore at Buffalo. And then the Texans, Houston Texans at Kansas City.
Oof, that's going to be a cold game.
Yeah, Kansas City is, that weather has been.
6 teams?
So there should be 4 games. There should be 4 games.
Okay. Boston, Tex, Philly, Detroit, Rams, Washington.
Yep. Did you missing one?
Missing 2.
You're missing 2. Okay, so do you have the Texans at Kansas City?
Texans and then
Kansas City Chiefs, the Houston Texans at Kansas City. Yep, you got that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have Baltimore at Buffalo? The Ravens, Baltimore Ravens at Buffalo?
yeah.
Okay. Do you have the Commanders at Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're missing the Rams at Philadelphia.
I got that.
Oh, that's it. Oh, and the Notre Dame Penn State game. No, Notre Dame Ohio State game. I keep thinking Notre Dame Ohio State. Yeah. So you have to pick that national championship game too, because that's being played Monday. So we'll just include that since it is a national championship.
And then Kansas City is
Hosting the Houston Texans.
That's gonna be a cool game.
So Houston Texans at Kansas City.
okay. Kind of got that down, and we'll.
Yeah, maybe Mitchell can post it for us, but the only way, and here's the key, and please tell people to join the show because I don't want nobody to miss out on it because it's starting this week, and we'll put something out on Facebook. You have to send your pics. David's got it right there on the spot, 32091 at gmail.com. What I need is your name, your phone number. Well, no, we don't want to put a phone number there.
No.
Just your name and maybe an email address, some way to contact you if you're not a regular on the show.
Well,
But-
if you send it to our email,
Yes,
we'll have their email.
correct.
And
reply
just
back
put
to
your
you.
name and
And
your
your picks. And your picks. That's correct. So that's where that's going, and I'll mention it again before the show ends because we have to do it tonight.
Yeah.
Because the games are starting Saturday and Sunday, and then the national championship game is Monday. So you have to have your picks in. Let's say
Through
what,
this
David?
week, right?
Before Friday. Let's say Friday.
Okay.
Let's say Friday at midnight. You have to have your picks in. So Mitchell, if you're creating something for us, the rule is you have to have your picks in Friday by midnight. We won't take no other picks after that.
because the games start playing,
Say Saturday and
And
Sunday, and then Monday night.
and
for
then we're on the air Tuesday to.
Correct. So we won't. So we won't be able to do this again. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
We'll find the winner out then, won't we?
well, we won't because it goes all the way to the Super Bowl. So you'll have this week's games. Then the NFC AFC championship game the following week.
Yeah.
You will already know who the national championship winner is, and then of course the Super Bowl. So we won't know for another 3.5, 4 weeks
Oh.
because the Super Bowl is still going to be about a month away. So, but there is a $50 gift card out there, David. We'll make sure we go buy one for Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
The winner will get that. Take your significant other out or help on the bill anyway, and that's on behalf of On the Spot with David Rodgers and On the Spot Motorsports Media. So both. So Mitchell, if you're doing that, if you'll do that for us and create that for us, that would be great. And then we need to post it on the page because people that aren't watching the show tonight, I want them to have an opportunity. You know what I mean? So. If they see it, they go, oh my gosh, there's a like a little pick'ems thing, and we want you to get involved as well for sure.
What are we gonna like set it up to where they just scratch the winner or put the
So let's say Chris
amount
Davis.
of numbers.
So let's say Chris Davis. We'll put the picks out. We'll put the games out there. Let's say Chris Davis emails on the spot 32091 at gmail.com. He'll put Chris Davis, and he'll put. I like the Texans, like this week. I like the Texans and whoever, and he'll do his picks. He likes Ohio State, okay? Mm-hmm. Then the next person does it. And then what we'll do is we'll check them this weekend, and then it carries over to the next week. Everybody's still in until your teams are out.
Right.
So, once your teams are out, you're pretty much done, But don't be... You may have one team in there, and maybe everybody has just one team in there. Then it comes down to, there's your team. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. You got to pick the winner of the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. So you've got Kansas City and Detroit. Tell me who wins, and then the points. So, yeah. So maybe Mitchell will help us create that, and go from there. So
Sounds good.
now we'll do it for fun. Me, you, Byron, and Mitchell, and Austin. We'll do it for fun, but we're not eligible to win the prize. How about that?
Yeah.
So that'll just give everybody an opportunity to tune in and be part of. So make sure you tell everybody that's not watching tonight that they need to get in on this because, hey, $50. I don't care how you slice it and dice it.
The
Right.
only
Right.
surprise that Dave Holland won was
Uh-huh.
when his Ohio State battled the Oregon Ducks.
Well, Dave's still in this week for the national championship. It's Notre Dame versus Ohio State. So,
That was a
you
good.
know.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
It was a 20-point spread with
Oh, you're talking the Oregon game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Ohio State just come out there and killed them. And then they beat Texas pretty good. Ohio State's on a different level right now.
Yeah.
They are.
Well,
I'm
course,
telling
I
you.
would be too.
Well, after losing to Michigan, because y'all hate losing to Michigan, that's talked about.
Right.
He's
Well,
like,
there.
he's like,
That's one of the biggest rivalries in college football. And you know he's still getting
Michael
even.
likes Michigan too.
Yeah, and you know,
talk
you
about
know,
pouring salt and wounds.
you know Ryan Day, y'all's head coach, is still getting flack about that. And he's playing for the national championship. Can't they let that go? They can't, man. It's 4 years in a row.
They want.
They
They
cannot
want to
let it
keep
go.
him tight.
They can't. They just can't let it go, man. I don't know what the deal is.
Crazy.
So.
You know, it's crazy. The Oregon Ducks came in. They played Ohio State. They won. Then they came back for the second time, and Ohio's like, not this time.
Well, I mean, you know, they had to get on a roll, is what pretty much has happened. So, but anyway, so we got that going on. And then I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things that are going on in the world today. Can y'all, anybody that's watching, besides Byron Bagwell, because he got it right off the bat, you know January 20th is coming up, right? Monday?
Yeah.
Can y'all tell me the 3 things that will be going on that day?
I know two.
All right, give me 2, Austin.
2. It's MLK Day.
Okay,
That's
I'll
your
give you
first
that.
thing.
Okay. MLK, Martin Luther King.
So
Martin Luther
everything,
King.
everything in the
Uh-huh.
government will be closed.
Uh-huh.
Not even the mouse is in the Capitol Hill will be stirring.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, as I was saying, and then Trump's inauguration,
Uh-huh.
and hopefully I'm on a beach drinking something strong, and it'd be 75 degrees. Oh, wishful thinking.
That's wishful thinking, the weather report that you gave.
Well,
And what else?
If
What
you're,
else?
If you're in Puerto Rico with a power failure, yeah. Then
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But anyways, back to what I was saying.
Yep, you got 2 of them.
Well, I know LA will be recovering from being burnt.
Okay.
Maybe.
We just talked about it. The national championship game of college football will be the same day, same night.
Oh, this is gonna be a wild night.
So
That's
you
wild.
got inauguration, which you know is going to take forefront, along with Martin Luther King, because a lot of people celebrate Martin Luther King
I
Day, and then that night, after all that's over, you can sip on a couple of cold ones and watch the national championship game between Notre Dame and your Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah,
Dave.
that's going to be top of my list.
The national championship
Yeah.
game? Yeah, because we've already talked about what we're going to do with that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that absolutely.
So with everything going on,
Yes, sir.
If the Notre Dame versus Ohio game was not on the 20th compared
Uh-huh.
to it being on the 20th, what would the view ratings be?
What would the viewer ratings
What-
be? I
what
think
would-
there's going to be, that's a great question.
Because people would be already worn out from probably watching.
So the
2019.
inauguration, now the ball is that night, right? I think, or whatever. The actual inauguration is during the day.
Yeah, but
So, and I'm off that day. I
well,
know.
I figured you would be. 'cause
Well,
we celebrate.
normally we weren't, and then all of a sudden they gave us the last couple of years MLK Day off. So it just happens to fall. The inauguration happens to fall on MLK Day, but there's going to be, I'm sure a parade and some things going on with Martin Luther King, which that's mostly during the day, I do believe.
Yeah.
Now at night, I know they got some kind of balls and some things like that going on with the inauguration, because I know my sister's going. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia, and she's going. She's already got her tickets. She's ready to roll. She's ready to roll and go. I already know that.
I'm surprised you wouldn't be there.
Well, I just ain't got the time off, so really. But the national championship game, I think, will be in its own entity. Because it will be at 7:30 at night, or it should be, or close to it. And there's a lot of college football fans, and they're going to probably have enough of the inauguration. Even though we're getting a new president then, and probably enough of the Martin Luther King festivities, and they're going to say, "Hey, I need to pop me a cold Michelob Ultra.
Kick back and watch
Watch the national championship game." I know that's right. So
I just it's one of the things where some people just they'll get to the point where they'll be like everything. It'd be interesting to see if it was held on a different day compared to that day, if there'd be a higher spike.
I tell you what.
Considering it is a Monday.
Can I put you on that project? Will you monitor that? Can you do that for me?
It'd be hard to do, but I'll try.
Okay. See just the ratings. You know what I mean? The Nielsen ratings or whatever for the inauguration, MLK. Events and the national championship game.
I can track well, this would be on YouTube, but I can track the White House pages, viewer rating, and I bet you, David, one thing I can bet you right now, and I'm not even putting money on this one because I know I would owe you money. The viewership for the White House went down under Biden's administration to the point, and they were getting so many dislikes that they actually had to remove the dislike button. It's now just I dislike this video. I bet you that viewership is going to expand by tenfold once Trump's.
I think so. I think you're right. Trump Vance hat right here. I'm going to get all you guys one on the show for sure. Trump Vance hat. But I had to bring it tonight. I thought I was going to be able to prop it up, but I wasn't. So, of course, we will see what happens on Monday. All right, David, a couple of more things I want to talk about. And then I'll get to something that I'm involved in that I'm near and deep to, and that's this car show for the ARC. And if everybody doesn't know, I am a board member of the ARC. I have been for the last 2 years. This is going on my second year. I head up. I'm one of the people that heads up some of the fundraising that goes on for the ARC. First and foremost, the ARC needs your help. Any kind of donation of any kind, monetary would be really great because that helps offset the budget that we're currently in. And of course, we got a lot of things coming up with the ARC this year, and one of them is the 50th anniversary of the ARC. And one of the things that we're going to start off with on Saturday, February 15th, David, from 11 to 4. At the Florida International Rally and Motorsport Park. That's 7266 Airport Road, Stark, Florida 32091, which is known right over there by the firm. We're doing a car show for the ARC. We've got all kinds of things that's going to be happening within that car show. So we'll have cars there, of course. We're going to have vendors there. We're going to have different things going on. We'll have a 50-50 drawing like Mitchell usually does with his car shows. We're going to have door prizes. We're going to have awards. So just let me read a little bit about what's going on there. So call for vendors, showcase your products and services, connect with the community, and support individuals with intellectual and developmental differences. This family-friendly event is perfect for car enthusiasts and casual visitors alike. Come out and connect with the community and experience a celebration of horsepower and craftsmanship. The market will be held outside. Vendors are required to bring their own tables, chairs, tents, etc. For more information or sign up, here's the most important part. Talk to John Williams, the director of the ARC today.
Yeah.
And we may be getting, I don't know if there's just people hitting the page for their own validity, should I say. In other words, I don't want to say maybe scam, I guess, trying to maybe scam what's going on, and different people are coming up and saying, hey, we need more vendors to sign up. Please send your money blank, blank, blank. You know what I mean? And I appreciate everybody sharing this, but the only person that needs to be collecting this money for the vendors or signing up as a vendor, you need to go through info@theartbradford.org and contact John Williams or his marketing person there. So make sure that if you want to be a vendor, send your information straight to the ARC's website, info@theartbradford, all one word, .org. There's a vendor application on that page as well, so you can go and check that out and fill out your information. And again, that car show is on February the 15th If you don't know much about the Arc of Bradford County, the Arc of Bradford County is dedicated to treating those who serve with dignity, to empower them to choose and realize their own goals, and to promote their strengths through education and advocacy with support of families, friends, and community. Celebrating 50 years this year, as I said, for half a century, the Arc of Bradford County has proudly supported individuals with intellectual and developmental differences. That's called IDD. Championing their rights and enhancing their lives over these 50 years. We've ensured that individuals with IDD have access to the community, fostering an environment of inclusion and empowerment. As one of the organizations in our county serving individuals with IDD, our mission is vital not only to the success of those we serve, but also to the enrichment of our entire community. Since opening in January, David, how about this, of 1975, when it started providing day training services to a small group of individuals, they've grown to offer a wide range of programs and services. Today, the Arc of Bradford County has also provided residential services, supported living and personal support, employment services, and as of 2024, David, we've started providing mental health services. The car show, please join us for an exciting day filled with classic and custom cars from our local car clubs, unique products and services from community vendors, exciting raffles, and more. This family-friendly event is perfect for car enthusiasts and casual visitors alike. Come out and connect with the community and experience a celebration of horsepower and craftsmanship. Funds raised will support programs and services for individuals with intellectual and developmental differences in our community. David, you can take a picture of that. Here is a vendor sponsorship list. I won't go over this, but it's different denominations of money on how you want to sponsor. If you want to be a bronze sponsor, it's $100. Silver is $200. Gold $300. Premier sponsors $500, and presenting sponsors $1,000. There's different things that you get for each level of sponsorship. So we'll put that on the page as well. David, you'll be taking care of that. And then, of course, here is the sponsorship form that needs to go straight to the Arch. So, anyway, there's going to be all kinds of information there. You can do and pre-register everything right there online. Again, you can contact John Williams at the Arch if you need any more information in regards to that. Byron Bagwell says Notre Dame 27, Ohio State 21, David. David said no, he don't like that. He likes it the opposite way.
I heard him laughing over here.
Yeah.
I disagree with those numbers.
You disagree with those numbers, okay? And I'll give you my pick here in just a little bit. But anyway, it ought to be a really, really good game. The first time in a long time, David, that there's no Southern team playing in this thing, like in Alabama, Clemson, Florida State, or any Southern team, Georgia. The first time that a Southern team really hasn't played for the national championship. That goes to show you the parity of the 12-team playoff that we're currently in right now.
Florida State's out of the.
Florida State's been out of it, man. They stunk. They only won 2 games all year. From that season,
bowl games are over.
They went to the Tidy Bowl. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
That's where you just put the team in there and you flush the toilet and they spin and spin out.
Yeah.
That's the bowl game they went to. But anyway, I mean, I know that's harsh, but anyway, please join us for that car show. It's pretty good.
Harsh.
Yeah, and that's my team. Mine and Byron's team. So I want to talk a couple of more things before we go here. It's 8 o'clock Eastern time right here in good old Stark, Florida. And welcome in on the spot with David Rodgers. If you're just now joining us, no Mr. Byron Bagwell tonight. He had to work a little bit over tonight. We do have Mr. Austin Stevens, who's going to give us another weather report here in just a little bit. And of course, the Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland. He's with us here tonight, as always, our director and producer of On the Spot with David Rodgers. So, a couple of things. All right, first and foremost, y'all do all know that President Trump has got his cabinet fully done, right? Y'all know that?
Yep.
Yep, it's fully done. So when the 20th, these guys are going to take their office and they are going to hit the road running. So the cabinet's already in place. Everybody is in. I know they've been having meetings in Mar-a-Lago, and they've gotten a plan, and they're going to be executing it starting day one. I wouldn't be surprised if you start hearing a lot of about the immigration issue, and then of course the economy and drilling and some other things that were very, very important to Donald Trump and his staff and his campaign when they were running for office. So you'll be seeing a lot of those things take place as of January 20th, and I'm just ready to see, David, what really comes about. I know it's going to take time. I understand that, but I want to see. I want to see how quick that he gets some things rolling, because already you're hearing about things rolling, and he's not even in office. I.e., let me tell you one of them. That is that Israeli and Hamas war and everything that's going on in the Middle East. That's starting to curve down a little bit, because Donald Trump's basically going to say, if you can't handle it, guess what? Daddy's home. He'll handle it.
Yeah, Daddy's
home, and he'll handle it. Also, the Ukraine and Russia, Korea has backed off of their a lot of their forces and stuff, because you know him and his little buddy over there. They may not love each other, but they've got an understanding with each other. Talking about ill there, and he's backed off some of that stuff. And I think Putin and Zelensky is going to start shifting this down, because if you remember when he was in presidency, there was this many wars. There was nothing going on. That's because Daddy was at the helm, and Daddy don't play that game. You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear what the EU did to Daddy?
I didn't do nothing to Daddy.
I said EU, United Nations, the European Union.
No, what'd they do to Daddy?
They told him, if you come in and play around with Greenland, we basically going to be the Toby Keith and put a boot in your behind.
So, great point that you bring up.
I would not play that cat and mouse game if I was the EU.
So, look, the European nation, first and foremost, doesn't have a thing to say about it. And I'm going to tell you why. And I think you already know why. So, we'll back off the war stuff and go to Greenland, because one of the things is he wants to purchase Greenland. Why does he want to purchase Greenland? Because there's so many natural resources that hadn't been tapped, David, on that island that would help not only us, but it'd help the world, but mainly us, because we want to be self-sufficient as much as possible. And that's one of the things that he stands on greatly.
And then Canada.
Yeah, let me hit Greenland first. So you were talking about the European Union, and you know, they probably got say this and that, but they really don't, because I want y'all to tell me, besides Byron that's sitting on here and maybe Shirley listening in, do you know who has the rights to Greenland? You know which country?
Not off the top of my head right this moment.
No.
Denmark. Denmark has the rights, quote unquote, to the island of Greenland. So President Trump is trying to, and I call him President, he's going to be president in 20 days. President-elect Trump, however you want to say it, is in negotiations with Denmark to try to buy them, to try to buy that island. So we'll see what, as you called him, Daddy, we'll see what Daddy proposes there as well. So that's some news here to come. I hope they do get it. I'm glad that Austin brought this up. Canada. I have no issue. Me and Byron talked a little bit about this last week. I talked to some guys at work about that this week. I have no problem of Canada being a 51st state. David, do you know why I say that? I don't know if Austin watched the show last week all the way through.
No, I didn't.
But I will tell you why I don't mind Canada being a 51st state. First and foremost, we give them billions and billions of dollars.
That's $200 billion, by the way.
So yeah, billions and billions of dollars. Why? For what? Absolutely this. For nothing.
Yeah.
What are they doing for us? They're doing nothing. So
besides the maple syrup, and then we pay.
Maple syrup is made in Vermont. I mean, come on. You know, everybody knows that. No, you're right.
Hey, but we also gave Justin Trudeau, which now he's resigning.
Yes.
And it's convenient. He froze Parliament, by the way, where they won't convene until March 4th, 2025. That's a while for.
It's a couple of months. That's a while for not to be convenient. You're right.
And that is literally convenient for them to not convene for what? What is that, like basically 5 weeks that Trump's been in office?
Yeah.
That's the weird part on that regards. And it was after the fact that the way him and Trump have been colliding back and forth. But economically, that Canada sitting as a country, it's in trouble economically. Its environmental impacts have basically burnt itself, and then we dish out $200 billion per year. Basically,
To keep them afloat.
Yeah, basically the United States pays for Justin Trudeau's golden toilet, and then where he can squat on it, and then we pay for their military. We pay for basically for them to go play with Ukraine.
So, and that's all good. And you're right. You did hit on some great points right there, Austin. And I don't have any issue with those points. Here's why I want them as a state. First and foremost, they have resources as well that they haven't even tapped. There's oils up there. There's natural gases up there. There's beautiful hunting country up there. Saskatchewan. Go ahead, Austin.
There's one thing that Trump is eyeing, and I know he's eyeing it, and so is the Department of Defense. As the planet goes through a cycle where I foresee, and I was talking about this with a few, people that are into, scientific side of weather, where we're going to see the way the atmosphere is shifting. We're going to see more snow eventually, and this is not now. This is long term, like 100 years roughly. Where up north they'll get warmer and down south will get colder.
Yeah, I've heard that spike is going to be coming.
It's going to wiggle downward more. It's going to come down more than it's staying up north, which that is not global warming. That is climate change. That is the atmosphere changing its climate. It does that every few hundred years.
Well, and I'm not so sure that's at the top of his list.
No, it's not at the top, but the biggest thing that the military wants is if they can get a hold of what's past above Alaska,
right,
going east to make sure Russia's in its place, they will love to do that.
Well, and that was the other thing right there, and I'm glad you said that because Russia sits right there, and if we had control over that, David, guess what? Our armed forces would be up there, making sure that there's no Russian collusion or any kind of invasion. We would be right there on top of it. There's two things I don't want from Canada. First, I don't want their monetary value. They're going to have to go to the American dollar. Sorry.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I have a feeling and you may disagree on this one. The American dollar needs a change. The Federal Reserve.
There's no doubt. But I'm just saying, if you're going to make it a 51st state, I don't want to go. I don't want to use your monetary value right now. You need to be on the dollar that ain't worth a crap right now. And I understand there needs to be some restructure in the Federal Reserve on how we print money and how we back our money up. I do agree with Austin there.
But away from credit.
So, and the other thing is one thing that Austin did hit on. Do you know why they're in such a bad shambles right now? Because their medical is absolutely horrible.
Yes.
It is absolutely horrible. I don't care. Oh, we take care of our citizens. Yeah, but what it's done is everybody takes advantage of that system, and now it's pretty much bankrupt, and somebody has to pay for that. So guess who's paying for that right now? That $200 billion that Austin Stevens says that we send in to them every year. So why not make them a state? And also, I don't have a problem with it because I've got one, you've got one, Austin's got one. You don't have to have a passport to go there. And I'm going to tell you what makes sense with that. Have you ever been to Niagara Falls?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've been both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To you, which is the prettier side? The Canada side. The Canada side is the prettier side. It's got the most historic and beauty to it. Not that the New York, not that the New York side doesn't, but if you don't have a pass, if you want to go to Niagara Falls and get the full view of the Niagara Falls, You can't do it because you have to have a passport right now. So if we were to incorporate this, that as a 51st state and make everything kosher, you can go across that border and only have to have your ID or whatever, and you don't even have to have your ID really. You can just go across if it's the 51st state, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Not only that, David. Here's another thing I'm gonna actually point out to you. What happens if Canada is gonna be like Puerto Rico, not become a state, but become
a territory?
A territory of the United States? What happens if that is the agreement that is reached, just like with Greenland?
Well, that's a great point you bring up, because if it's a U.S. territory, you don't have to have a passport to go to most I said U.S. territories.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I know somebody was going to catch me.
Someone in them comments are going to fact check you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'll just go ahead and fact check myself. There is one country that you cannot go to that's a U.S. territory that you do have to have a passport.
All right, I'm not looking, but it's a shot in the dark.
Okay.
Guam.
Yes. Do you know why?
No, that's why I said it's a shot in the dark.
So because you have to, most flights generally go through Japan
That's what I was.
to go to Guam.
Yeah.
So you have, and Japan requires you to have a passport. Yeah. Any other territory, there's usually direct flights, no problem. If you want to go to the Virgin Islands, no problem if you don't have a passport. What he said about Puerto Rico, you can go to Puerto Rico without a passport. American Samoa, you can go to American Samoa without a passport. Then these other little tolls and stuff like that if you can get on there.
David,
but you don't have to have that.
Out of any country in the United States, any country in the world, what country do we hear the least amount of stuff from?
You're talking world country?
Yes.
Oh, that could be numerous. But you have one in mind? Go ahead.
Not like the popular ones, the most popular one.
Go ahead. I mean, I could name several. I probably wouldn't get it right.
Well, one of them is a small little island in the Atlantic Ocean. We don't hear nothing out of Bermuda and the Bahamas.
Well, except that you're going on a cruise next week to the Bahamas. I mean, I do hear that. No, you're right. No, you don't usually those island countries, you don't with the exception
of Cuba.
And even Cuba's slowing down, but Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and not even Dominican Republic. The reason is because they're connected. So, Haiti's always got turmoil with something going on over there, and I hate it.
The only thing that I hope never happens to Haiti again is the Clintons show up. That's all I hope.
Well, they've got their own problems with their own government, trying to overthrow the government there.
And then, of course, Venezuela has the same problem.
Yeah, well, that's South America, too. So, but, yeah, I understand what you're saying, Austin.
But no,
I get it.
Those two that are the closest to the United States, actually, nothing. Quiet.
Yeah, well, I can name 10 or 12 other countries that are just like that. But I understand what you're saying. He was talking close proximity.
Yeah.
Close proximity.
Well, really, I should have clarified that. Close proximity to the United States.
Yeah, and I probably would have said that. You're right. But anyway, so that's the Canada thing with me and the Greenland thing with me. I do want to talk about the wildfires in Los Angeles. I'll let you chime in on that, Austin, here. How about you chime in when you do the weather, okay? Because we're getting ready to wrap up the show. It's 8:14 Eastern Time. Again, you're on the spot with David Rodgers, Dave Holland, Austin Stevens in the house, Byron is not, and Mitchell at home watching. Don't forget about the football pick'ems. Don't forget about that. What can you win, David?
You can win a $50
gift card.
Get a coupon to go.
I love that coupon. The gift card. Oh my gosh. Better. That does sound better, doesn't it? Okay, coupon. I love that. Okay. Shirley says, yes, Niagara Falls is so much more beautiful from the Canadian side. Tourism is important to Canada, so that would be an asset to the U.S. Absolutely. Agree with that, too. Yes, for sure, Shirley. And, Shirley, she's traveled quite a bit.
Yes.
And Shirley's been to a lot of different countries. And she would know, like anybody else would know. Being in the military, of course, you would know. But anybody that travels the extensive amount that her and Donnie used to travel definitely would know. Thank you, Shirley, for that. Absolutely. So last thing I want to talk about is the wildfires in Los Angeles. All right, guys, and ladies and gentlemen, and anybody that's watching and anybody that's going to be watching in the future, I have a problem with what's going on in Los Angeles and the wildfires. First and foremost, I don't want to sound facetious or harsh or not caring. Those are people. Most of them are citizens of the United States. Mm-hmm. The areas that are affected are wealthy, rich neighborhoods that a lot of actors and actresses live in, that some I don't particularly care for, and I'm just being honest. But they are people at the end of the day, and that is their property. But I have a problem because Biden is all of a sudden out there. Oh, we need to help the LA wildfires, the LA wildfires, the LA wildfires. Yes, we do.
I'm gonna bite my tongue.
No, I'm fixing to say it for you. Why haven't we taken care of the people in Tennessee and in North Carolina that are still affected by the weather and the hurricanes that have come through the eastern seaboard? And why have we not taken care of these people yet? We're talking, when did that happen, Austin? November?
Hurricane Helene occurred in early October, followed by Hurricane Milton, which you mentioned.
Just give me the fact. I'll let you back that up later. When the one that hit North Carolina, because I'm trying to make a point. And I'm not trying to be mean with you.
No, you're fine. Helene was it hit Florida, went through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina.
That's the one that caused the damage, correct?
Yes, on the North Carolina mountainside.
Okay. So that was November, you said, right?
That was in October.
Which
makes it more
November,
awful.
December. We're 2.5 months. And a lot of this stuff still ain't cleaned up. We still haven't gotten power to some of these. There's still places, right, Austin? Yeah. Yes or no, that there's not power there, right?
Okay.
Still?
Absolutely. So one thing I do want to point out about the Appalachian Mountains, because I've been up there, and I'm pretty sure you've been up there.
I have.
Where it didn't hit like where Boone and all that is, right? It didn't hit the populated part of the Appalachian Mountains. And I'm not excusing the federal government whatsoever. Not excusing FEMA and their shenanigans. It hit the unincorporated side of the mountains and caused these mudslides that we all knew were eventually going to happen.
Right.
It was, you're up there playing Russian roulette with a mountain, and what goes up, what comes down is going to come down in swaths. Well, unfortunately, it is a mess, and I believe it's Asheville, North Carolina, where that city was completely cut off at the bottom of the mountains, where Boone is and all that. But once you get north of Hickory, it's a mess, and it still is. I'm not talking about the Virginia side, and David's not talking about the side where people built roads and had houses up against the rivers and the mountains, the places that the government, DOT, did not build road-wise or infrastructure, for the matter of fact, for Duke Energy and all that. What he's talking about is the places that where Duke Energy has had infrastructure for the last 50 years, where there are things in like Asheville and north of Hickory and north of Boone. They've been up there working, like Spectrum and all that have been up there working like crazy, supplying stuff. It's bad enough when a cable company is supplying assets like, baby diapers and stuff like that, and our own government's over there giving, here's $750, David. Here you go. Have a nice day. So
you're right, and I was going to say what Shirley just said.
But they're going to give California 100%. They're going to make it where the Biden is making the federal government fit 100% of the California fire bill on the federal government.
So Shirley said we seem to have forgotten them. Absolutely, we seem to have. And they are in dire need of propane and other things, as Austin just said, all these other resources and stuff.
And with the severe cold snap that could be potentially even...
Oh, absolutely. It's already happening.
Well, I'm talking about the one next week that could be even coming to Florida. You've been on the ocean before when that wind's blowing. Yep. It's, you got a pull or cold front coming down. Yep. Like I told you with Renee, pipe bursting cold. A lot of people don't understand what that means. That means you're going to get temperatures rapidly down below 32, and due to the wind, if you have a house that has fair insulation or weak insulation, the wind's going to cause the air to leak through and freeze your pipes. It's called a pipe bursting cold.
That's it.
Has anyone been to Cedar Keys since October?
No, I haven't.
I'm not about anyone in the chat. I know you're working.
Right.
the pier that was rebuilt via concrete, right? Mm-hmm. When you go out on the downtown Cedar Key, going out to the pier where they fish, even that concrete pier is broken off in the end, and it still hasn't been fixed. Even our government in the state of Florida, I'm not challenging them, not saying anything. Ron DeSantis has been a spectacular governor. He sent the National Guard for our state up there to help them more than helping us because we weren't as much in a messed up place. But even then, like Cedar Key and all that, they're still struggling over there on the coast. Steinhatchee. There's people that don't have homes. Still, and
that's what I'm saying. We have a natural disaster that happens right here in our backyard, and we still haven't taken care of this. But all of a sudden, we are going to give our full attention and full monetary money, let's call it money, full monies to these people over in LA. And again, I don't want to sound facetious about this because it's not being, I don't want to be facetious about it. There's 24 deaths there so far that they know about. There's hundreds and thousands of structures. As a matter of fact, I'll read it to you here in just a minute.
There's over 2,000 structures.
So, more than that.
More than that now?
Yeah. Let me see here.
Well, while he's looking that up, I want to bring up something. There has been over 200 people died from Hurricane Helene alone. It is in Hurricane Helene is a natural disaster. Now, you want to point that one out. Hurricane Helene, when it came through, this is confirmed deaths over 200, like around 250. I would have to get the exact number, and I don't have it right now. But I guarantee that is just confirmed deaths. There are more people in the mountains that have not been found in so long that we will never know. It just like what happened to the Bahamas with Hurricane Dorian. They still to this day don't know how many people truly died from that. Mm-hmm. The people, I know David's trying to not be facetious, and so am I. Let's be equal sharing on both problems. The fires in Cali, the hurricanes on the East Coast. Let's stop having this political battle. And for the love of God, and Kat Kamak, if I could speak,
Kat Kamak,
has been doing a good job trying to fight the blood of what's going on in D.C. And I hope she watches this. A personal message to Mike Johnson from me. Stop sending money to Ukraine.
How about not just to him, how about to all the government? Quit sending dollars across the border, across the waters, and take those dollars that you're going to be sitting there and give these people, starting here on the East Coast in North Carolina, and anybody that's affected, like he was just saying, there's still people in Cedar Key and Steinhatchee that are still struggling, trying to get their homes rebuilt, just trying to keep their daily lives going. Let's take care of them, take that billions and billions of dollars and distribute it to those people that need it without question.
Yeah.
Give it to them. Let me ask something. And I don't know if you understand the term, Austin. You probably do. You do. Aren't we our brother's keepers? Aren't we our brother's keeper? You understand the term, Austin.
Yes.
We are our brother's keeper. You learn that in the military. It's really a safety term, is what it is. You're your brother's keeper. If me and you are somewhere, you and Austin are somewhere, you're my brother. I'm your brother.
Back. You got my back.
Yeah. If I see you doing something wrong at a job site, I'm gonna say, Dave, let's not do it that way. Mm-hmm. You'll think about it and go, okay, or we'll talk about it. If Austin sees something, he's going to say and tell us, hey, guys, maybe we can do this another way. We're supposed to be our brother's keeper, right? So why aren't we? Because we got this political war. We got the Democrats versus the Republicans. Nobody in the middle to officiate any of this bull crap that's going on, or saying, hey, stop, as Austin said, and you and everybody on this thing, stop the BS and let's get the job done. It doesn't matter if the money comes from I don't, wherever.
Wherever.
Take care of these people. Take care of them as you should. We are all U.S. citizens. We all live here in the United States of America. And by golly, I'm sick and tired, as y'all guys are, and everybody on this feed is, I am sick and tired of people saying, well, we shouldn't spend money here, or we shouldn't spend money there, or let's send money over here, or let's send money over there. I'm sick and tired of that rhetoric. Hey, people in North Carolina, as you said, need help. People and everywhere that been affected by these storms that Austin called out to us.
Our brothers and sisters should be taken care of first.
Number one.
You know what was even worse? FEMA, and I got confirmation. I have a friend that actually had this happen to him here in Keystone Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had a Trump sign in his front yard, FEMA dropped him.
Bunch of garbage. That is your right to vote to whoever you want to vote to.
That is your right.
That is your right.
And for FEMA to do that, that is unconstitutional. Argue with me about it. I will be in the chat.
If that was me, I don't care what sign, as long as you ain't got a Russian sign up there, you know what I mean, or flying the Russian sickle, you know, hey, you're good with me. That is your right. If you want to vote, if you want to vote for Joe Biden, fine. If you want to vote for Kamala Harris, fine.
That's you.
That's your choice. But I'm here to do a job. I'm here to take care of you. What can I do for you? And that's the way it should be. It should be
100%.
Customer service, 1,000%, no doubt about it. Don't argue where the money came from. What is it that we need to fix for you, Mr. Holland?
So, Dave, let's take all the money we give Canada, Ukraine,
There's $1 trillion.
Japan,
Yep.
There's $1 trillion.
Iran, Iraq, Israel,
All of them.
all of them.
Yeah.
How much you think that would be?
What did he just say?
Y'all-
Trillions of dollars.
You know,
Yes.
We could fix everything. We could fix it all. We could replace. We can repair. Hang on, Austin, real quick. I know you had a point, son. I'm sorry. Well, I've lost train of thought. Go ahead.
So the one thing I want to point out, Nevada's next door, right? Nevada's desert, right?
Well,
Yes. Nevada has, especially in the Vegas Valley, it's a valley, right? Same as kind of like LA and where Vegas will get wind gusts up to 80 to 100 miles an hour. Why does Vegas not have fires?
I'm going to tell you why they don't have fires, and I was just getting ready to get to that point.
Well, I know someone that lives in Vegas, and I asked them this.
Because they do controlled burns, Austin.
And
they clean up their forests. They clean up the crap and keep it clean.
And they fix the power grid that's aging.
The power grid, I agree, but the power grid had nothing to do with this. Now, I agree with what you said. The problem with this fire is, first and foremost, we talked about it before the show. We know that those fires were intentionally started. They got 25 people on the hook, they say. Supposedly, we got 25 people on the hook.
They say it started from a backyard bonfire in Palisades.
It should have never started.
It should have never started to begin with, because when you try here and you start burning here and they find out you're burning here, even in Bradford County, and Gordon can back me up on this, you are charged criminally when there is a burn effect. When you're not allowed to burn, you can't burn. Your neighbor has.
Even if it started, even if the burn ban is in effect, as he just said, even if the burn ban is in effect, okay, and you wasn't burning, but the fire started accidentally, let's just say, well, what's happened is over the last 30 years, the state of California never cleared out those wooded areas, never had controlled burns, so when these winds, as Austin said, kicked up to 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, guess what? It did nothing but fuel the fire. There was nothing but trash and overgrown straw and everything. It became a raging ball of fire, and it was hard to stop. And then on top of that,
a 117,000 gallon, whatever water reservoir was apparently under maintenance.
Yeah. So when they turn on the fire hydrants, they got absolutely this. Nothing.
No more water.
There's no water. Right now, they're fighting those fires. And, oh, by the way, kudos to you guys. Y'all are some hellacious pilots.
Yeah.
Whether you're flying a helicopter or whether you're flying a fixed-wing aircraft, I'm going to give kudos to those guys that are going and getting water out of the ocean, because it's right there, and filling up those particular tanks and flying and dropping that crap across there. You've got my vote, buddy. Y'all are some dadgum heroes. I'm telling you right now. And they're flying sorts 24 hours a day, as Austin said, to try to keep these things, to keep this down. But the problem is, it's outraged so much right now, it's hard to contain it.
I got to add the firefighters and first responders on the ground. Man, they got a job ahead.
Yeah, you know, they didn't even send out the firefighters the very first day because there was no water to fight the fire with.
The other thing I want to point out, say Gordon, Ron DeSantis comes to Gordon's desk. Hey, I need you to send some of our fire crews from Bradford County. There's no fire here. Send them to LA for to help respond with it. Because they will. You know what happens, David? They don't go to LA. They go to Sacramento and have their trucks go under an inspection that they already have had in Florida before they can go fight the fire. Once they fight the fire, they have to go back to Sacramento to do another inspection before they can even leave the state. Yeah.
So, and I agree with that. So, let me just read, fires in California caused by Democrat. Absolutely. Newsom should be held liable for the deaths and destruction he caused. Absolutely. 100%. The mayor of LA, too, needs to be DX, too.
There's a change.org for her to resign, by the way.
Both of them to resign, by the way. The rhetoric, I've just seen that about Newsom today. So I just want to give you a little deal about the LA fire. And again, I'm not trying to sound facetious here or not caring, because I do care. Those are our people.
Yeah.
But we have to take, if we're going to put all our resources to one place, we need to put all our resources to what happened to us here and those fine folks in North Carolina.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. It needs to be fair across the board, and not no $750. Give these people the monetary value and tools they need to restructure their lives.
And David, not everyone in Palisades or else outside like Beverly Hills and all that, and the small little suburbs, not near Hollywood, but even the suburbs that are in between Hollywood, Beverly Hills, and the Palisades. There are people there that live the 9 to 5 like me and you, have student loans and stuff like that. And because they have the people on the internet looking at, it's all just the rich people that got burned. No. Even the low-end population that the most population that live with multiple people in apartment complexes that work the 9 to 5 that are struggling day to day because their families live there. They don't know where else to go. They don't know about going to Mexico. They don't know about going to Texas or coming to Florida. They don't have the money or means to go somewhere else to live a better life. They're stuck in the rat race, and now all their stuff's burned.
That's what I'm saying. We have to take care of these people. I mean, look, like he was saying, the rich people and the Hollywood actors, they're going to rebuild. They got the money and the financial backing to do what they need to do because they've got that money. But like you said, how about me and you, Dave, if we lived out there? Hey, we're living 9 to 5, like he was saying, working 5 days a week, working a 40-hour work week, overtime if we have to, just to make ends meet. And these people have lost, as he said, their homes, their cars, whatever it is that they need for everyday living. All of a sudden, they've got absolutely nothing.
And State Farm pulled out, by the way.
Nothing.
The fire insurance from State Farm that they had, it's gone because State Farm told the state of California, hey, clean up the brush, clean up the stuff. We'll cover these people, but clean it up. They never listen. So on the fact of the government,
did I just state that? Didn't I state that earlier? They never cleaned anything. They never burned anything. That's why and I'm not saying it wouldn't have still, but it wouldn't have been nowhere near as bad, as severe as it is right now.
Right.
All that stuff just became an engulfing flame of just hell. Let's call it.
Fuel is laying around everywhere.
Oh, yeah, for sure. for sure.
Fuel for a fire. I mean,
I want to close the show down here real quick, guys, and I just want to go over a couple of things. Also, I'm going to let you talk about the weather here in just a second. But I just want to give you just a couple of things that came out today. Fires across the Los Angeles area have killed at least 25 people, destroyed more than 12,000 structures and more, and scorched more than 60 square miles. The largest by far, as Austin and David said, the Palisades and Eaton wildfires continue to burn in Southern California as of now. Forecaster posted particularly dangerous situation, red flag wind warnings for Tuesday through noon local time Wednesday, as winds are expected to pick up. Extremely critical fire weather is forecast for parts of the region. Officials said the worst winds are expected late Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday,
right
upward 80 to 110 mile an hour winds. Officials said 88,000 people in Los Angeles County were under evacuation orders as of today. Curfews are in effect for the Palisades and Eaton fire zones from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So, not quite out of the woods yet. The National Weather Service warned people in the Los Angeles area that the winds were expected to increase late Tuesday night, Wednesday, even though they were weaker than expected during the day Tuesday. Not quite out of the woods yet, the Weather Service of Los Angeles said on social media. Red flag warnings remain in play. Stay aware of your surroundings. The strongest winds were expected Wednesday between 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. local time. In Los Angeles and Ventura counties, peak gusts were expected to be 50 to 70 miles an hour in the mountains and 30 to 60 miles an hour along the coast and in the valleys. And then he was talking about the federal aid. They need to work on more than what they're talking about here. I won't even read it because I don't want to make anybody any worse and mad than they already are, because I'm furious about this, honestly. And it's just because it's not being treated all the way around. Austin, give me the weather.
The one thing I was going to say, right, I'm gonna make it quick. This fire happened at the wrong timing for California in the fact that Donald Trump's going into office. That is the one thing I will say. The second thing is California is in a particularly bad situation. Last 2 weeks we've had east side of the country cold, hot on the west side, literally fire, unusually. But back at home we have highs tomorrow in the upper 50s, tonight mid 30s, of course, patchy frost through 9 a.m. And then tomorrow night, lows in the upper 30s, 20% chance of showers, highs in the lower 60s come on Thursday, then in the lower 40s overnight, but rising to the upper 40s by Friday morning daybreak. Highs near 70 on Friday. Saturday, showers and thunderstorms start moving through the overnight hours into Saturday night. Highs in the lower 70s, lows in the upper 50s. And then on Sunday, your highs are looking at the upper 60s, then falling to the lower 40s, and then a cold front moves through, starts pushing through on MLK Day with highs in the 50s. Back to you, David.
All right, here we go. FEMA is providing a one-time $770 grant for urgent needs covering emergency supplies, food, water, gas, first aid, and all that. Bullcrap. Bullcrap. Boy, I'll tell you what.
$750.
Don't even send it. It's not even worth the wire that you're going to send it to. Are you kidding me?
Literally.
$750 to the people in North Carolina and anybody that was affected up there. $770 to the wildfire victims. Are you absolutely kidding me? Get your heads out of your asses. Government, period. Get your head out of your asses. Grab the money that you're sending all the way over across the pond, and like Austin and David said, across the borders, take all that money and give some substantial amount of money to our brothers and sisters, because we are our brothers' keepers, as we talked about. And if we're not looking out for each other, who is?
David.
Because your government, our government, sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to point at you or Austin. Our government is not doing it properly. I can assure you of that. Austin, that's enough of the subject.
So I was going to bring up the tornadoes from Texas to Georgia.
No, I don't want to hear about no tornadoes.
Well, guess what happened to me this week?
What happened to you this week?
What was this, Tuesday? Last week.
Yeah.
I got a letter from IRS.
Oh, no.
Oh, here we go.
And back in 2020, I got a tax refund, and it was a large one. One that I'm like, Why they sending me all this money?
Yeah.
You know, it was during COVID, and everything got screwed up. And so I took it and stuck it away to wait till IRS contacts me and tells me, we paid you too much. So I got that letter. I got that letter last week.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked in my closet, and there's the money that I stuck in there 4 years ago,
Well, smart move.
and sent it back to him today. So I got that covered. I'm just glad I sat on $5,000 for 4 years.
That was awesome, Dave. I tell you, a lot of people would have tempted to use that money, and guess what? Hey, they'd be knocking at your door for that money. And then guess what? Oh, no, Dave. No, it's no problem. You can make payments to us.
Yeah.
With interest.
With interest.
Oh, yeah. You can make payments to us as long as you're on time. You can make. That's how our government works.
Well,
See?
they gave me a week to make that payment.
Oy.
A week.
Yeah.
But that because their hands are itching to, and I know the camera can't see it, but I'm scratching my hands. But the government is literally, there you go. The government is scratching to give Dave Holland's money back to them so they can send it to David's favorite country that I heard he's moving to once he retires for new millennium, Ukraine.
My favorite country. Yeah. Quit sending money to that place. And again, quit, like everybody was saying here, and there's some great comments. Dwight Allen says, stop sending our money to the foreigners. Absolutely. Look,
Yeah.
okay. Let me retract, and then we're going to go.
Oh, boy.
So, look, I don't mind helping others. That's what we as human beings are supposed to do. The problem is we need to take care of our own first, and that means everybody. When in this place, and it never will happen like that, but when this place is running properly and everybody's got what they need, and our economy's booming, and some of the issues are taken care of, fine.
Excuse me.
Then if some other country needs some help, I don't mind
I'm
helping.
fine for helping other countries, David.
But we need to take care of ourselves first,
let
also.
me finish what I was going to say. I'm going to add to your comment.
Okay.
I don't want to use our money when our country needs help. That's the first part. The second part to that conversation is I don't want to use our money to go kill other people. Wars kill people.
Well, and I think that's where Trump is. Trump really don't want no wars either. Trump wants it to be peaceful. The more peaceful it is, the more that the economy grows, the better it is for everyone, as he just said. And that's why I said there were 0 wars when he was in office. But going back, and this all ties in what Austin's saying. I know I picked on him a little bit tonight, but it all ties in to the bottom line
it's good
here.
Love.
To the bottom line here.
Makes
The
it
bottom
people.
list. Hey, take care of our own. Take care of what we need to be taken care of. There's money out there that is being distributed to all over the world that we could use, and this could be done in a matter of time. Look, get your agents out there, get your people out there, find out what these people need, give them the required monies, the required things they need to do to get their lives back on track. All right, now let's go take care of the LA wildfires. Let's go do that. And let's do the same thing. If there's trillions of dollars out there, which we know that there is, as he just said, we know there's trillions of dollars, take that money and do the right thing, and that's take care of the American people that make this country go each and every day. Your service, you provide a service, David. Your shop here provides a service. We need you. We need you to go to work. We need your people to go to work because people need haircuts like this one. You know what I'm saying right now. People need haircuts. Hey, what he does weather. We need him. We need him to tell for him to tell people about the weather. Y'all need me to go to work every day because I'm in steel. I provide joists and girders for building structures that we need each and every day. I need Dwight Allen to go to work. He works for the railroad. I need those railways to keep moving because they move product. Yeah. I need Tom Bailey and Michael Box to go to work because they're truck drivers. They haul product from here to there. We need to keep America moving, and the only way to do that is to get everybody back where they are so they can go to the workforce and keep this train rolling, man. And when people are fighting the devastation that they're fighting in both places, they're not working. They're worried about where their next meal's going to come from, where their next place to lay their head probably is coming from. And that is the problem that I have. And if I see it, David, and you see it, and Austin sees it, Byron sees it, and everybody on this show sees it, then, God, man, why can't our government see it, and why can't they do something about it? It's just aggravating because, David, and to me, it's so simple. You know what I mean? KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Man, just take the money and distribute it to where it needs to go and be done with it. Man, this country would, and our lives would be a lot better if we just kept everything simple. Good night, Dwight, and God bless America. You're exactly right. So Renee came on, actually, by the way. Say hello, Renee, Austin.
Hello, Renee. Also, check your messages. I sent you some details about your pipe bursting freeze.
Oh, yeah, he sure did. You just
I did.
Yeah. Well, he talked about it, and I know
it's probably going to come to us, David. So
it probably is.
I'm not poking at Renee whatsoever because I know that finger. Because she always texts me and tell me, "Hey, I'm sharing. It's caring," and it all comes at me.
David, I love that what you just did right there, and if we can get the rest of those up, not today, but for the next show, when we talk about that particular car show, if we can get it, when I'm talking about it, get everything across the board, and then I can go across with that. So, guys, it's been a great show. I think we hit a lot of topics. Don't forget about your football pick'ems. Hey, the 4 games in the NFL. You got to pick those. You got to pick the winner of the Notre Dame and Ohio State game. By the way, real quick, Austin, who do you got? Real quick, Notre Dame or Ohio State?
I'm too close to David, so I'm going to probably have to pick Ohio State.
All right, you're going Ohio State. David, I know is going Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Byron's already picked them. Hey, do you remember last week? I want to remind you. I think Byron did too. The only one that you missed was you missed Penn State. You said it was going to be Penn State, Ohio State, a Big Ten matchup. But Notre Dame beat them by 3 points. And I did say Notre Dame and Ohio State. And then I think, if you remember correctly, I said Notre Dame was going to win it all. So I've got to stick with my pick, even though I don't feel great about it, because the way Ohio State's playing right now, they are just like a machine rolling right now, and they are doing everything right. Probably Ohio State wins the game, but I've got to stick with my pick. I'm going Notre Dame, as Byron said, real close. I'm gonna say 24-20 Notre Dame.
If it's gonna be a very close, like within the fourth quarter, when we get into the beginning of the fourth quarter, if it's only 2 points, it is going to be 2 dogs tug of warring.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt.
It's just gonna be who can yank that rope the furthest.
Yeah.
You know what Notre Dame's record is?
Yeah, they've only lost 1 game, and that was to Northern Illinois.
And Ohio's
lost 2 games.
2 games.
Yeah. So.
Once
they
again,
lost they lost to your Michigan boys, and then they lost to Oregon by 1 point in the regular season. But since then, them guys are on a roll. To me, just again, I think in the skill positions and their skill players, Ohio State's got the better players. They can make things happen down the field. Notre Dame plays a complete game, like within themselves. They're a complete team. Not any one guy is really a juggernaut. They just seem to find a way. And as also said, if it's a real close game in the fourth quarter, I think it's going to be a dogfight till the end. But I can see both of these teams. It should be a great game. Looking forward to a great game. Again, don't forget your picks. Renee, go back and watch the show. I want you to get on the picks for the NFL and the college national championship game. You have a chance to win a $50 gift card to Texas Roadhouse. If you win it, I'll send it to you. Renee said we prepared for that last week. Still got the installation on. So they're ready to go. She's ready to go. on behalf of the Miss and Byron Bagwell, Mr. Mitchell Gunner on the Spot Motorsports Media page. Don't forget to tune in on Thursday night. Austin Stevens back in the studio with us. Austin, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you can make it for a couple of more shows. I know you always got something going on.
I gotta be here next week because it's the first show with Trump in office.
Well, okay, yeah. Until you text me and go, somebody did this to me, somebody did that to me, somebody did that to me.
Sometimes it's beyond
I know. Me too. And our producer, Dave Holland, the Desert Destroyer himself. I'm David Rodgers. God bless you. Have a great Tuesday night. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your football weekend. Enjoy football Monday night. And, of course, the inauguration and Martin Luther King Day coming up on that day as well. God bless you. We'll see you back next Tuesday. And hopefully we'll have the Miss and Byron Bagwell come in. Take care, guys. Love each and every one of you. Peace out. Don't forget, you're your brother's keeper. Good night, everyone.